you're go, 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 go. Got to get the shift. Got to get the roll call. Got to do this. Got to go to call to call to call. If you're in a busy department, so you're going, go, 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 and then one day it's over, and then you stop.
This is gonna hurt. It's time for the Suffering Podcast.
And I hadn't had that since I was like, I was in the DB when I was in there with my buddy when I was with Corey, and then when I was with Sloan, we were tight. Like we had this nice fit. We did like stuff together all the time. But on patrol, I never felt like I did like the last year and a half. It's tough to say goodbye because
You're leaving
I've
your
been coming
family.
in, but I've been coming in, and everyone's like, "Why are you still coming in?" It's like because I want to get it all out now because I'm gonna miss it. I am.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it is. I got great cops working too. They're all good.
So from my experience with retirement, I was forced. Like I was told, you can't do this job anymore. So I always feel like it was snatched from me. So here's the thing, like you'll see guys retire after 25 years. And this always stuck in me a little bit. And they'll have the big retirement party and they'll get the gold watch or whatever. They'll get the plaque, you know, and I'm not knocking your plaque, but I never had that opportunity until one day I'm sitting in group therapy. Mike was there. I'm sitting in group therapy and one of the guys goes, "You understand all those guys, most of them who had their full time in, never did shit. They sat around, they slept on midnights.
Yeah.
You know, they just sort of rode their time out and they get this big party and this big walkout stuff where you actually did something. You know, so the guy said it to all of us. He says, where you guys actually did something and you can't do the job anymore. And it hurt. Like that hurt me real bad. And it wasn't until, oh God, I'll bet you 2 years ago, somebody was in my old police department and said, "Hey, your name's on the wall." I'm like, well, it was nice of them to fucking tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the department I worked in. It was toxic from day one. So that honor that's bestowed on you, I'm going to give you a suggestion, which is please enjoy it because I didn't get it. Flynn didn't get it. You earned it. I'm not saying, trust me, above all, I think you've earned it more than most.
Yeah, damn straight.
Now, Flynn, you left the job you're kind of in like a flux. So I'm retired, Bobby's soon to be retired. You're in between.
Yeah.
So that has to be a little bittersweet.
More than bittersweet. I mean, it's
more bitter.
Yeah, to say the least. You know, going out on your own terms, like Bobby is, it's inspiring. You use the term, and it's something that we all say on the job, right? Hey, I heard Bobby pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
Pulled the pin.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Push
cops,
the button.
right? Whatever they say, but pulling the trigger has a negative connotation in and of itself, right? Because pulling the trigger generally means something bad is happening, and pulling the trigger can be a difficult decision.
To be honest
Understandably
with
so.
you, I've never heard pull the trigger. I've always heard push the button.
Push the button.
That's what we say in Hudson County, so maybe
That's probably better.
because we're probably real men.
Well, Essex,
Unlike you Essex guys, bunch of freaking, you know, I'm not even gonna say it, but oh my God, whiny little bitches. You come over to Hudson, teach you the right way.
I don't know, bro.
Coming over to Hudson tomorrow. Well,
Dude,
you got to show
tomorrow.
me.
You better behave. I'll tell you
I'm
that right
gonna be
now.
there.
Oh, I'm going to say all sorts of fucking things.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
have to
drop
do some-
kick you like
gonna-
Captain America right
I'm
in your
gonna
chest.
say, like, there's words coming out of my mouth.
Supplements.
Yeah.
There's words going to come out of my mouth.
Easy. Guy takes a little TRT and he thinks what the fuck smack him right in his forehead.
So when you were told that you can't go back, that drop in your stomach, you're like, oh shit, what do I do now? Now, because one day there's not a process. Like you have a process.
Yeah.
There was no process for you. There was a process for me, but it was like immediate.
Mine is unceremonious. It took everything I love dear. I was dedicated to the job. I lived it, breathed it. Like I said, to my own detriment. It's being left in this limbo. Like I'm 5 years waiting to get reinstated.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in my heart of hearts, and the facts play out.
Oh, it's going to happen. You just got to think it into existence.
Yeah, and I got to fight. I got to fight for it. But when guys in Bobby's situation are leaving, there is that separation anxiety.
The key component to any law enforcement officer being the best version of themselves is through education. Sherry Alsop is a leader in providing that education to police agencies, preparing them for the all too frequent dealings with sexual assault victims.
You've seen Sherry on episode 169 of the Suffering Podcast. She survived incest and almost daily sexual assault, so she comes from a place of experience and true understanding.
Sherry has the intelligence, commitment, and compassion to open the eyes of those on the front lines, while providing the tools to effectively deal with a difficult situation. Sherry's instruction comes from experience and multiple certifications.
Training with Sherry will offer on-site training, customized schedules, specialized instruction tailored from a victim's perspective.
You are going to hear Sherry's heart-wrenching but inspiring survivor story. Learn proprietary trauma-informed training techniques, uncovered victim-centered interview methods while earning continuing education credits according to your state guidelines. To be the best, you must learn from the best. Let Sherry also guide you through the delicate cases of sexual assault from a victim's point of view.
Be a source of comfort to those victims affected by these traumatic experiences while producing a solid investigation and uncovering details that often go unnoticed.
To find out more or to contact Sherry Alsop, go to sherryalsop.com. That's SherryAllsup.com.
That identity that you had, it's really not your identity. It's just a part of you. And there's a thing C.S. Lewis has, right? Everybody quotes C.S. Lewis all the time. It's kind of cliche. But when I had part on my mug right now, C.S. Lewis says there are far, far greater things ahead than anything we leave behind.
So it's the funny thing in the opening, the hardest thing is walking through the door. But if you have the courage to walk through the door, there's some great things on the other side. You're about to see that, and you're going to see that very soon. It took me a while to see it.
God willing.
So police have this weird thing with retirement. So here's the statistic. We die, we all know it, we die 5 years after retirement.
Yeah.
If you guys had to opine why that's the case, why do you think that is?
You want to take a crack at that one? Because last time I checked, I left my medical license at home.
I defer to you. You're the boss, man. I'll take it if you want. But
You've seen it over and over
for
again.
sure.
I just, you know, I don't know how true that actually is. You know, you hear it all the time and you see it, but you just, only reason you hear it and see it is because it happened. But it's not like everybody. If you really took the numbers, what's the percentage?
It's like 57, 58, where,
So
and I
it's
have
like
a theory.
a little more than half, you know?
But I have a theory. It's a different age now. Let's go back 20 years. I think it was more prevalent.
I think if I had to guess, and there's nothing to do with my gut, it would be that most cops, the job consumes them, and they do the job, and the job becomes them. It becomes everything. It's first before your family, before your social life and everything. This might be a little old school, but I really feel that once the job's gone, it's like, what else do I have? And I can't do anything else. I've never known anything else. I lost my family for this. I lost my wife for this, or whatever the case is. My kids, whatever. And then you just maybe fall into a bottle a little bit. You go out, you do things that you never did before. You're fucking around, and then
little midlife crisis.
And then boom, it goes. You know, you just die.
So it's a crescendo of
I don't even
down.
know what's that mean.
It means, well, crescendo goes up. This is actually a digression into
There
the
you
pits.
Cascades.
Cascade. Okay, so you cascade down because you're going 100 miles an hour. When you're a cop, you're go. Got to get the shift. Got to get the roll call. Got to do this. Got to go to call to call to call. If you're in a busy department, so you're going go, and then one day it's over, and then you stop, and that sudden stop. So they always said, like they say it in an accident. It's not the driving fast that kills you. It's the sudden stop. Mm-hmm. So with that sudden stop, guys stop taking care of themselves because they don't have that purpose anymore.
Yeah.
And then they're home all the time, and they realize they don't really fucking like their wife. So they end up getting divorced, and then half of their pension's gone. So it's just that's the reason why they go so quickly. And 5 years is you know, you're talking a window. And I think it's different now with the people are much more cognizant of their mental or their physical health.
Physical health and mental health is just as important. Obviously, we know that. And, you know, I always kind of stayed in shape. You know what I mean? Not always in great shape, but enough. You know, I exercise regularly. I don't always eat that great, but I do have my windows. And, you know, I felt like I'm going to retire. I'm going to, I'll do at least 7-8 years at this next job because my kid's being in college.
Right.
You know? And then after that, you know, I never planned on just sitting around, you know? But if I want to look like, a lot of things have to be said about genetics, right?
Yeah.
So my father's 84 this month, or August. He'd walk every day for an hour. He does his thing. But besides that, a couple scotches a night, watches the Red Sox or whatever's on TV in Florida, you know, whatever his teams are and stuff, the Rangers, this and that. Calls me, texts me back and forth. But this is like, he's been retired since he was 50-something. So it's like, he's 84. So, like, he wasn't a cop. I'm just saying he had a job, you know, a good job. He worked hard his whole life, but he really hasn't done anything. He hasn't, besides to going for a walk, you know? I mean, the guy's all, like, it's insane.
I think that's one of the most difficult things to ever do is just stop. You know, so guys where I work now, the cops where I work, they'll guys are leaving by the droves, and they'll come to me and they'll say, you know, like, what were your plans when you retire? And I said, you know, I was in an unfortunate situation where I didn't really have a plan, so I had to develop a plan real quick. I got young kids. But what I tell them is, I said, look, take 3-4 months off. You know, because there's a certain amount of guys that are like, when I retire, I'm retiring. I'm like, slow your roll. Take 3-4 months off. Relax. You earned it. You did 25 years. You earned some time off. And figure out your next move. Because that honeydew list, it's not as long as you think. You know, your wife's telling you, hey, honey, do this, honey, do that. It's not as long as you think. That ends real quick. And you're on a fixed income now because you don't have the overtime, you don't have the road jobs. So you can't go out and just spend. You got to be cognizant of your money. So there's a lot of different things. But if they take 3-4 months off, they can decompress, they can relax a little bit. Maybe most guys like that I know are going to get antsy, and they're going to go like, I got to fucking do something. I got to get out of the house. I can't take this no more. Where you got a little different situation. You ran right into it. Didn't you ever think about taking some time off?
No,
Why?
I didn't want to. I got to stay busy.
You earned it. Yeah, but what if you get to go to the gym?
I get to go to the gym. The college has 4 gyms I get access to all day, anytime I want to work out.
I know you wanted to work in Hoboken so you can be closer to Mike.
Yeah,
He's not in Hoboken. He's in Wyckoff.
Yeah, I know, but he works close by.
Nah, well, no.
You guys will be having lunch and taking showers together.
Maybe we go to a little Fiore's. Not that you guys would know anything about that. Two fucking Essex County losers.
Rotten.
No, I just wanted to listen. If I didn't take this job, I could have took this job. I could have went for this job earlier. This is not a job that you just like. You know, I didn't have it like. I think everyone should understand. I think some people think because, you know, I knew people there that I was a shoo-in. I wasn't a shoo-in. I had to interview against 7 other people to get the job. You know, and they're looking for people that are, you know, round hole, round pegs. And that's the big thing in police right now. No more round hole, square peg, all that bullshit. They want you to fit, you know? And they were looking for somebody that they could fit. And I got hired, and then another guy got hired after me. You know, two of us are getting hired. And it was against a bunch of other people. And so when I could have went for it the prior year, I was going to go for it. They were asking me, are you going to come? Are you going to send your stuff in? And I said, yeah, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And I thought that I was going to stick around and make lieutenant, which is definitely doable. You know, make lieutenant, stay with the overtime, Red Bull, do this and this. But the kids are all getting older and they're getting ready. You know, the one's going to college. The other 2 are in the middle of high school now, going into their sophomore, junior year. So I'm like...
Well, you also miss so much working as much as you did.
Yeah, but now I'm going to a job with 12-hour day shifts anyway. So it's like 30 a month on days, a month on nights. They rotate. So I'm working 3 on 2 off, 2 on 3 off. I'm just trading in one badge for another. So for me, it's a big deal tomorrow. I'm retiring from the Harrison Police Department. That's a big deal for me because I'm always a long time in my life and my people that I made connections with, and you know, I served that community. I can honestly say I served that community to the best of my ability. You know, I went through a lot of shit, you know, and they they were good to me, and I'm gonna miss that. But I'm gonna go to this new job, and I'm gonna work that for the next almost decade. So it's not really even a retirement. It's a second career. I'm going to a second career, which is, what do you do in your second career? I'm a cop. I am. Like somebody said the other day, you're not really a cop. I'm not really a cop. Why is Stevens Institute of Technology one of the 12 police departments in Hudson County? Why is that?
I was so shocked. So you foolishly put me down as a reference. And so I spoke with the guy, and listen, I all those fucked up things you used to say to me, all those fucking ball-busting moments, I thought about it. But I'm like, nah, there's nobody better for this job. In all honesty, I was very surprised because I had this vision of what you would be doing, which I was totally wrong. I was absolutely wrong on what a police officer in this capacity would be doing. The questions they were asking me, it was like a true blue police job interview. Like they asked me some serious shit.
Yeah.
And they wanted to know.
They want you to know everything. It's like, I got to be honest with you. It's a legit job. It's a different type of policing, though. It's community policing, and unless we're in community policing, or it's quality of life issues. It's dealing with people. It's like my biggest asset is my ability to communicate, right?
Yeah, but you're communicating with younger kids now.
But I have younger kids, and I've been coaching forever, so I have an elite background in communicating with younger people. So it's just talking to people. If you don't. It doesn't matter. Age is just a number. It doesn't matter. I'm tuned with a lot of that stuff, and I ask questions. I listen great. So it's like things that happen now, like when you like the way you talk to people. Like that's what policing's all about right now. It's not about like it was, get the fuck on the ground, that 20 years ago. That's now it's guy's like pissed off. He's up here. What's wrong? Everything okay? Calm down. We'll talk about it. What? What do you want? Want a sandwich? Get your Coca-Cola. It's how you talk to people. It really is. And you gotta they will realize when they raise the level that you're barking up the wrong tree. It's just we're still cops. I think people have to realize that. And it's cops, and obviously we were getting back to being popular. We're not now. We're fucking back in the fucking shithole, back in the dumpster.
Yeah, thank you, Illinois.
Illinois.
Yeah.
But we're still cops, and we still have to be. I did the job this way, and although that disheartens me, and I listen, it's always somebody from my fucking race. It's always some white cop that kills a black person or an African American person, and I'm like, why? I know this is going off on a tangent, but I'm not retired yet, and I'm going to a university that's super diverse. I just don't get it, and I don't want to really talk about it much. It brings me down. When I saw that video, I felt sad.
It's a challenge.
I felt so sad that someone from my profession, my fraternity, my brotherhood, sisterhood, did this. It's like if it could be worse than George Floyd, it was. You know what I mean?
In a lot of ways, it was.
And it's just like, why? Like the no remorse, nothing. Just shot her in the head.
So it's a lot of discontent. So people love fueling the fire of discontent with police. And it makes the police job harder. And it's going to make your job harder, especially being on a college campus, which traditionally they don't always have a favorable view towards police officers.
This one does. So I'm hoping that they maintain that. It really does. They love the cops there.
Good.
Because they interact. They got a great... one of the things about going to this job is they have such a great upper level, chief, deputy chief, lieutenants.
Essential.
They really are in tune with the community of the campus and Hoboken. And they were all cops, like prosecutors, guys that were involved in big time. Like they really know their shit. And it attracted me to the job because I knew, wow, this is really good. I'm in good hands over here. And they can, Well,
the one guy that I know that works over there, he was top notch. I don't know whether he still works over there or not. I've been out of contact with him, but he is top notch.
What department did he come from?
West Caldwell. Yeah.
Essex County.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a couple of guys over there. West Orange.
Billy's
West
his first name.
Caldwell. I don't know.
Billy's his first name. He's a fantastic guy. His wife was actually my lieutenant, but when Billy showed up on scene, he knew what he was doing. He knew how to talk to people. Wasn't in the best shape in the world, but he knew that job inside and out.
Yeah.
And he was so when Stevens picked him up, I'm like, all right, you got a fair guy.
Leadership is key.
So Tom, I want to ask you, like when you were no longer a police officer anymore, you went into something totally different. What kind of adjustments did you have to make in your lifestyle?
So, in the academy, right, or at the swearing in, your ultimate goal is retirement, right? That's everybody's goal. That's the brass ring, and when you're on the job, it's from 0 to 100.